Do you, like many people, have fascia rollers at home, but actually have no idea how to use them properly? Don't worry, we are here to help you with that. In this video, we reveal to you the most important rules for us and show you how beneficial, lovely, and magnificent fascia roller massages can be. First of all, why do we roll at all? We are specialized in pain, and the consequences of pain, namely reduced mobility, reduced metabolism, and that's why we roll, on one hand, to relax even more in addition to the exercises, and on the other hand, to boost the metabolism. Because what you need to know is that wherever there is pain, tension, or limited movement, the metabolism is restricted more than it should be, and that is where we want to help. And we have 3 rules that must be observed. Rule number 1, we roll very, very slowly. Actually, almost in slow motion. Why do we do this? On the one hand, so that the receptors over which we roll over the tissue have time to switch as well, thus bringing about relaxation so that we do not roll over too quickly. And number 2, we have the idea that we want to bring movement into this interstitial fluid. And the slower we roll, the more this fluid might have the opportunity to distribute and move forward so that waste products might be carried away and new nutrients can flow in, so to speak. Rule number 2, we roll very tightly. We roll firmly because we want to press the tissue deeply so that many of the receptors for relaxation are activated. The more we press, the more we assume that some movement can occur in the intercellular fluid within the deeper tissue layers. And with this very firm pressure, we have also made our rollers a bit softer. Our rollers are quite soft on the outside and firm on the inside, so we combine all the advantages in one design, so to speak. And rule number 3, we always roll towards the heart, so we roll our arms up, the legs the same, the torso up as well. And when rolling in the head-neck area, we roll downwards, always towards the heart. Why do we do this? Because of the blood's return flow direction to possibly contribute to more movement, which can also potentially accelerate the lymphatic fluid, ensuring that waste products are transported away. Do you already have a roller? Then take it now. If you don't have one, you can also use a round water bottle filled with water that feels crunchy when rolling, and you can at least get a sense for it. And I will now demonstrate for the back, as that is the topic for today, how we do it. We start for the back by sitting on the roller. This is our midi foam roller, which was developed specifically for pain relief. Sit on it and then you will feel the coccyx at the bottom, and that's where it starts. And you may notice that I roll super slowly, but that still creates movement. Maybe you can't see it very well, but you'll probably notice the difference because something is already happening. I am going very slowly now. Now I have reached the sacrum and continue rolling. We have this circumferential slot in the middle of the roller to protect sensitive bone parts and structures. When it comes to the back, and you have a lot of pain, then the advantage is that the back extensors on the right and left side can be properly rolled up, and in the middle it still does not hurt too much. And as I mentioned, at the same time the rollers are also a bit soft on the surface so that I can adjust them well, and as you can see, I am making progress now. I am approaching the upper end of the ilium. There are always very sensitive areas, and the more sensitive the areas are, the slower I am in the rolling process. It feels particularly good there and is very relaxing. Now I am going over the edge. This would be the moment where I lay on my arms, and now it continues. The lower back and lumbar spine are also often quite sensitive. You may notice if you join in right away. And now, slowly along the lumbar spine, you can already feel the last rib at the bottom, the 12th one, which is usually quite sensitive, so don't be surprised. If the intensity increases a bit more, you may need to reduce the pressure with your arms so that they push less on the body. And then there's a point where you have two options. You could sit down, as I'm showing now, or you could stay up, which adds a bit more pressure. So I would base that on how well you can handle it in terms of intensity. Yes, I am now rolling further up the thoracic spine. You could also raise your arms, support your head a bit, but if that's difficult for you, you can keep your buttocks on the ground and move forward little by little. Yes, both ways work. I'll do this now, incorporating a bit of stability training at the same time. That's good, in the middle of the thoracic spine. Yes, and you'll notice, move slowly and apply as much weight as possible. The only limiting factor is that it might become too intense and cause pressure pain. And then you would just sit on your buttocks or support yourself with your hands or arms to reduce it a bit until you can bear it well. What applies to the exercises also applies here. Now the shoulder blades are slowly coming into play, and there are also sensitive spots on the shoulder blades that all contribute to it. So that your sense of well-being in the back area, from the buttocks up to the shoulders, can feel much more relaxed and comfortable. Strictly speaking, one should now slowly reverse the whole thing at heart level, but that would be a bit exaggerated because the few centimeters that are still to come now are fine. So now I have arrived. Always be a little careful when you are up there so that you don't suddenly come down where the cervical spine begins. That was the first round. Feel inside. If you participated, it may feel different already. So, and now we roll two special things. Number one, we are now rolling this area here, feel the pelvic brim and where the ribs can be felt. And then you realize there is such a space in between. And then you go with the midi roller, our larger roller from the set. You go over this area, only on the left side for now, and then you notice, oh, it is also sensitive there. And then it supports you so well that you can just about endure, just about bear it. And now we roll differently. Now we don't roll towards the heart, but now we roll in circles so that everything that needs pressure is also pressed there. Yes, how you do it is a bit up to your feeling, but it is also a good body exercise for perception, for control. You must draw light spirals there. Yes, I am now exactly on the side, on the left side of the spine, between the pelvic brim and the ribs, most specifically the 12th rib, which is the first short one at the bottom that comes out. Yes, and you do that as long as you notice that you have sensitive areas there. You will also notice during the course of practicing that it becomes less sensitive. Many say, oh, the sensitivity decreases, but why does it decrease? And our theory is that from the head, the brain changes the programs. And then the areas also become less sensitive, as with osteopressure, yes, when you are being treated by the therapist. Or even when practicing, when you do the exercises, there is a position where it hurts a lot at first and then it subsides, like the tissue giving way. Then we do the same thing again on the other side. If the back pain were now one-sided, then it could be that the relevant side is simply enough. First, let's find the spot where we are now and then draw the spirals again. Always aim to target the areas where you feel sensitivity and roll on them more often than on other areas, where you don't notice it as intensely. Yes, very slowly and consciously, it also enhances body awareness and overall control, such as how you use your arms and feet to move your pelvis. Okay, action number 2, now feel in. This could already feel more relaxing. And number 3, now it gets very specific. Now we take the mini ball, the smallest ball you may have, and now we go to the upper edge of the pelvis. We start in the middle, right next to the spine. I'll show you how. By the way, if it is too uncomfortable for you on the ground, you can also do it against the wall. Just lean against it. This has the advantage that you can then regulate the pressure better, because you constantly have to bear the force of gravity. Now feel again at the edge of the pelvis, which is usually clearly noticeable, and go with the small ball, with the mini ball, directly into this corner between the spine and the pelvis. To the ilium, and then you notice, oh, that is exactly the spot where you might feel the back pain that you want to get rid of. You step right on there, and the spirals movements here are now smaller. Yes, they are quite small, maybe a maximum of 1-2 centimeters in diameter, always looking for where the greatest sensitivity is. And then you move along the edge of the ilium, always moving further outwards, and then you notice, oh, there are also areas that are really sensitive. And we do the same on the other side. Yes, first of all, start again, feel, where is my ilium, where is my spine? Aha, there it comes together. There is this corner, so to speak. And then you go on, look for the spot of greatest sensitivity, and again move in spirals very loosely and relaxed. By the way, if you don't have any foam rollers on hand, and now that you've understood how it works, it's getting boring, then click there, and then you can also do a back routine without rollers, where you only need your body. And then you also go along the iliac crest, moving further to the side, along the iliac crest, further to the side, specifically along the edge of the ilium. And then you slowly come back up and feel inside. So that was it for the back. You can also do more, but there is already quite a lot happening. If you now feel like rolling other parts and want to give it a try, here you will find more videos on other topics. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please click here, subscribe, activate the bell so that YouTube can remind you. Goodbye until the next video.